Tyler, the creator, is so oblivious he doesn't even know who his own fan base is. If you guys were not aware, the neo soul legend, music legend D'Angelo passed away recently at the age of 51. RIP to him. I loved his music, and somebody who shares the same opinion about how great D'Angelo was is Tyler, the creator. He put out a heartfelt message talking about how he remembers the first time he heard D'Angelo, the first time he bought the record, how he influenced him, how he inspired him, how he's added references into his music, referencing D'Angelo and all these different things. He remembers the music videos, yada, 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 right? We know that Tyler, the creator, is a big music head. He loves black hearts. He loves black music especially. But somebody who doesn't share that kind of love for black music like he does is his fan base, which he was he finally was aware of this recently because of that post, because everybody in the comment section was saying, who is D'Angelo? I've never heard of them. They were treating him like an underground artist, not because they think his music is bad or anything, but just because they weren't aware. They don't spend their time in black households listening to black artists who maybe never reached the mainstream stardom like D'Angelo. He never reached that to the same extent as maybe his counterparts like Erykah Badu, in my opinion, or Lauryn Hill, somebody in the same niche as him, the same genre as him, I would say. But regardless of this, Tyler, creator, kind of was just shocked that he turned up the comments, and people had to address this and say, Tyler, what did you expect?
The reason Tyler the Creator is so surprised that none of his fans are aware of who D'Angelo was is the same reason a lot of people didn't mess with his music at first. It's for reformed incels. He himself is a reformed incel. The lines he used to get off back in the day, and I'm an early Odd Future fan. I was always a little bit more of an Earl fan, but I make beats myself, so it's like, okay, as a producer, as an artist, you have to have a lot of respect for what Tyler has been able to accomplish. Flip side, it was way worse than just eating a roach. The lines, he's got a line about essaying a pregnant woman and then telling his friends he had a three, a three is plenty.
All the years of trolling that Tyler, the creator, has done has finally caught up to him. And he was a little bit taken aback that his fan base, most of them, didn't even know who D'Angelo was. And it was like he started to crash out because he was like, oh, he influenced my music and da 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 da. But your fan base are white.
If you look in your music videos, there's always a white boy. If you look at your fan base, at the people who attend your festivals and concerts, it's a lot of white people. It's not to say that black people don't like your music. It's because there's a lot of multitudes of why you don't think, why your fan base isn't majority black. When you think of Tyler, he's entered that upper echelons of superstardom, right? He's up there with the Drakes, the Kanyes, the Travis Scotts. And most of their fan bases are white. Because when you're an American artist, a musician artist, and you're trying to reach those levels of stardom, eventually you have to cross over into what they call the white demographic. To make the big bucks, you have to appeal to the majority of the population of America, at least to be successful in America. If you want to be successful all over the world, that's a different story. You have to make stuff that everybody can relate to, not just white people, not just black people, but everybody, right? So Tyler has reached that superstar level to at least have the white demographic in America. I don't know if he's internationally well known, which he is. Actually, he just went on a world tour. He just got off of it. And he was in the Philippines talking about how he wants to take a break. But anyways, the point is that your music, especially in the early days, was not something black people were gravitating towards. You were a skateboarder who had edgy jokes, who was very trolling all the time, who was, I wouldn't say disrespectful, I consider that a troll, but to black people, you were seen as somebody who was different. You were weird in the sense of you weren't like other black people, and you didn't have the same, aspirations of maybe your other black, counterparts, or other black males and women, males and females, whatever. And with that, you garnered a big audience of white kids who loved your edginess, who loved skateboard, who loved Supreme. Black people weren't really into Supreme that much as a whole demographic. It wasn't a part of the culture. It was to a certain extent, but that's a different story. I'm getting too deep into the unnecessary details. But regardless, you had more of this Reddit 4chan aesthetic, right? Then you progress to more of this soulful hip hop, which you started with Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost. These are great records, and a lot of black people started to gravitate towards you because these were records. You had Charlie Wilson, Erica Badu, DJ Drama. You had black artists that were really well cultured and well, like, great, like, at critiquing themselves to make really great pieces of work, that when people saw your work, they were saying, wow, this is job well done. You did a great job. That doesn't mean your white audience shrunk. They just were started to pick up more of the black aesthetic. They were like, oh, okay, I see, I like those. But that doesn't mean they know the chord progressions. That doesn't mean they know the references to soulful artists from the back in the day. That doesn't mean they know the Gap Man now, that just because you have Charlie Wilson. Like, they don't know the upbringing. They didn't grow up in that. They don't care, because most people, and this isn't just about white people, most people stick to their own. Most black people are going to gravitate to black musicians because they relate to them and their messages in their music most of the time. Same with white artists, same with Asians, same with Mexicans, same with Hispanics, Latinos, Africans. A lot of the times they gravitate towards their own because that's who they can relate to the most. That's who they feel like appreciates them the most. A lot of people want to be appreciated, and when you make art for people, they want to be appreciated with that art, right? They want some type of relationship between the two. Tyler's, yours just happened to be that edgy aesthetic in the beginning and never really left you. In fact, a lot of people wish that you kind of go back to that. And just look at your clothes. That's another thing. Look at the way he dressing, bruh. Cardigans, ties, swords with penny loafers, or I don't know the type of shoes, but you know the type of shoes I'm talking about. Like, he has more of this posh aesthetic, like the English, British, UK, European swag. Like, every time Tyler switches his, like, aesthetic, does he ever go to a black aesthetic? Maybe recently with his new album, Don't Tap the Glass, that maybe have more of a black aesthetic. And guess what? When I reviewed the album for my 30-day album challenge, which you guys should go check that video out, a lot of people were saying, I'm not a big fan of Don't Tap the Glass. It felt too hip-hop-ish. It felt too 80s, which I'm not going to sit here and say it's my favorite Tyler, the Creator album, but I felt like it was a good album. It had good, memorable lyrics, Sugar on My Tongue, yeah, all that kind of stuff. But Tyler, I feel like you need to step back for a second, step back from the I've reached the top. Take your ego out of this, take your pride and all this, and really look at your fan base and really see who is attending Camp Flognog, who's attending your shows, who's buying golf, and who's wearing it and publicly showing that they're supporters of you, who is representing themselves as a Tyler, the Creator fan. And I think it will get a better understanding of where you lie in the black music culture and in just music culture in general. So you guys let me know about this whole Tyler Creator situation. Do you think it's shocking that he's shocked the fact that he has a big white audience, or like his audience doesn't understand the neo soul and black music history? Like, is it really that shocking? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification button, leave a like. If you guys want more videos like this, I'm trying to be really consistent, so I need your guys' help, and that stuff will really help me out. So thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys next time.